cheesecloth.com.
All right, time now for Better Food. Today we are talking butter, but not the kind of most of us use as our go-to. Instead, we're actually talking about cultured butter, also known as European-style butter. Jojo and Kiki Frey are here to show us how to make it from scratch. Love to have you ladies on the show. Nice to see you.
So good to be back.
All right, what is the difference between European butter and regular butter?
So the butter that we all usually see in the grocery stores around here is actually sweet cream butter.
Okay.
And the big difference is that it hasn't had a chance to ferment the bacteria essentially in the cream. So you don't develop that nutty sort of rich flavors that you would with cultured butter. Cultured butter is essentially you add in a culture, which can be anything from creme fraiche to kefir to buttermilk itself, and that adds bacteria into the cream, which then ferment and create this microbes that are actually really healthy for you.
How do you guys know so much about butter?
Well, we're butter experts. We make a butter churn.
You make?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes.
You actually make a butter churn, which we're looking at right here.
Exactly. There's the top over there. Churncraft is our family business, and it's really easy to make your own butter. You just start with 2 quarts of heavy cream, let it out for room temperature, and then you churn it. When you do cultured butter, like Kiki said, you want to add the starter. So today we're going to show you how to do it. We're going to add some creme fraiche from Vermont Creamery.
We love Vermont Creamery. They're great.
Now, creme fraiche, does it really have any flavor to it?
Yeah.
It does.
It's comparable to sour cream, but it's a little thicker.
It smells like sour cream.
Sour flavor, and that when it has that sour flavor to it, that's because it has those live cultures in it.
Okay, yeah. Absolutely.
So we're going to do 1 teaspoon per cup, and this is 2 quarts, so we're going to need about 8 teaspoons in there.
A good ratio if you're making your own cultured butter is to do 1 teaspoon per cup, like Kiki said, so you can do this in smaller amounts. You also don't need necessarily a churn to make your own butter, but so if you're doing a food processor, it's just a 1-to-1.
Okay, so you can certainly use a food processor.
You can. We like the slow churned method, a little more in the moment, but you can absolutely do it.
You add your culture in there, so like we said, you can do it also with buttermilk or kefir, or you can actually buy live culture from Amazon. It's called like a mesophilic starter.
Or you can really buy anything from Amazon.
You really can. It's commonly used in cheese making. So basically what you do, you just whip it up like this, kind of make sure it's all mixed in there.
Okay.
Don't be too crazy about it, just sort of mix it on up.
And it's important to note that the different types of starters you use will create a really different flavor in the end result. So there's a huge spectrum to the flavors and the taste you'll get if you use buttermilk versus sour cream or versus creme fraiche.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah. And another big pointer, very important, is the quality of your cream. The better quality you use, the better the butter is going to taste, and it'll also be healthier for you because cows that are out to pasture, they eat grass, are going to have those complex flavors versus corn-fed or soy-fed cows, which will give you, not such great flavors, or not as healthy either.
And what are we doing there?
This is just cheese paper. You put this on here. We're just going to seal it a little bit. I've also read that it's great to use cheesecloth. That allows a little bit more air in it. Then you can just take this, you let it sit on your counter. We usually do it overnight, but we've tried it up to 72 hours.
Oh, wow.
What happens is that the cream in here gets super thick, and it only takes a couple minutes to churn at that point. So the longer you leave it, essentially, the stronger, kind of nuttier, more complex taste the cultured butter will have in the end.
And you leave it out as opposed to in the refrigerator?
Yes, leave it out. If you leave it in the refrigerator, it won't grow because obviously bacteria thrives in a warm environment.
Exactly. Okay.
And also, interestingly, culture is turns. Basically, you're turning the lactose into lactic acid. So if you have cultured butter, it lasts a lot longer than normally sweet cream butter. Have you ever tried Kerrygold or the Irish butter or French butter?
No, and I've heard so much about this Irish butter.
It's phenomenal.
It's really like it's like a trending now.
It's so good.
So that's what this is.
All European butters are cultured butters because it's really tasty. It's good bacteria. It's just healthier and better.
So now, would we churn this?
Yeah. So basically, let's say 24 hours passes, then we would take this off. It would be a little bit thicker, and this is the top to our butter churn. So we just want to make sure we get this on right. You put this right in here, let it screw on. Good fit, and then you get started. You just start churning. So give that a whirl.
Give it a whirl.
You can hold anywhere you want here on the side. Now, typically, it's going to take about 8 to 10 minutes of constant, fairly vigorous churning.
That's not that long.
Not too bad, especially if you get 1.5 pounds, 1.75 pounds of butter at the end. You also get buttermilk. That's your byproduct. With cultured butter, it'll go a little bit faster.
This will get thicker and thicker over
thicker and thicker, and then it'll separate. Your fat, will glog together. together and the buttermilk will be separate. So you'll actually have the butter floating in buttermilk. And then we'll show you. We won't make you do that the whole time.
Okay. Can I try something? We have about 30 seconds.
So this is the end product.
That's the end product.
Butter. We made that at home. That's cultured. It has some sea salt. I recommend putting in good quality salt.
There you go.
And this is delicious bread from down in near us in Fairfield County. The better your bread, the better it's all going to be. Good butter needs great bread.
That is remarkable.
Good, right?
That is delicious.
Almost like cheeses. How cheeses that have been aged for a little while, they have more complex flavors. Butter's the same way.
Thank you, JoJo. Thank you, Kiki.
You're welcome.
For amazing seasonal recipes and to learn more about the award-winning Churn Craft butter churn, head to churncraft.com. So